Hi everybody, Lisa King. I know it's been a while since I've been on, but I've been sick as a dog. I am hopefully on the mend now, but wanted to test drive a new recipe maybe for Christmas. Note to self, I should have read the recipe first because this is an expensive dessert, but there's definitely ways to cut corners on it. So I'll show you all the ingredients and show you what I think you can change out, and we're going to test it out today. So it unfortunately has to sit overnight in the fridge, and I may not have enough ingredients because I wasn't spending all that money. But this is a mocha chocolate icebox cake. No baking required. We're going to mix it all up, layer it, put it in the fridge overnight. Excuse me. It does call for a thin, crispy cookie, and they said to use Tate's. These darn bags are expensive. They were like $6.67 a bag, and you needed 3. I only got 2. But I did see Pepperidge Farms also has a thin, crispy cookie, and they are buy one, get one free. So that will be one thing I change out. It also calls for 12 ounces of mascarpone cheese. Publix had the mascarpone, I think it was, I want to say $5.49 or $5.99 a package, and you need a package and a half. We just happened to be, and I do not like Aldi's, but we were at Aldi's last night, and they had the same name brand and everything for $3.59. So there's another savings right there. So the recipe calls for some Kahlúa, and of course I had that already. Espresso powder or granules, cocoa powder, unsweetened. Let's see here, 2 cups of heavy cream, vanilla, half a cup of sugar, and then at the top we're gonna, after it comes out tomorrow, we're gonna put some chocolate curls. So I just got a chocolate bar. So let's get started. So it says to put everything in your mixer with the whisk attachment. So I'm gonna throw everything in there, and you're just gonna mix it until you get stiff peaks, and then that's it. And then we layer it, and we're done. So, excuse me, move you over here so you can see better. So we're gonna use a container and a half. These are 8 ounces of mascarpone, and I just love mascarpone cheese. You use it like in cannolis and stuff or tiramisu, but I also love it on fresh baked bread with like an apricot preserve. It's delicious. So let's get this all in here. So be sure to let me know if you're watching this live or on replay. And if you want the recipe when we're all done, let me know. I'll send that over to you. And I will post a picture tomorrow once it's all done and out of the sleeve. We're going to actually put this in our spring form pan, so it will layer like a cake. Okay. There's our other 12 ounces. Poof. Let's see here. Alrighty. And let's just get everything in there that needs to be in there. So then we have a half a cup of sugar. Hi, Cher. This is our Kahlúa. We're doing a 1/4 cup. And then we have, let's see here, espresso is a teaspoon, so we're going to shove that in there. It's going to be a nice coffee flavor. I love that. And then we have our cocoa powder, unsweetened. And last but not least, a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using the double strength Madagascar bourbon vanilla. You can use any kind that you have. Okay. And I believe that is it. We're going to whip this up to stiff peaks. Then we're going to start layering this. So you might not be able to hear me for a sec. Let's put the shield on. And we're going to set our mixer to whip. And here we go. So you'll see it's going to start out real slow, and then it's going to speed up. So that's super helpful, especially when you have floury kind of things in here. So it doesn't whip up right into your face. So it says it's about 3 minutes. So I'm just going to clean up real quick, get my pan and everything ready. And then once it's finished, we'll start layering it. And be done. All right, right back. Listen to that go. We're going to use the springform pan, and we're going to use our cookies. So now, when you're layering the cookies in here, make them to fit if you have to break a couple pieces, because that's going to be like our cake layers, and it'll soften up overnight once the mocha mixture is on it. So, oh my goodness, there's barely any cookies in these packages. So disappointing. I really should have read the recipe first, but so we can layer while that's going. So all we're going to do is put as many, I don't think we're going to get, unfortunately, as many layers, or probably not many layers, but that's okay. This is a test drive, right? Just trying to find some easy recipes that we can use for Christmas where I don't have to be cooking. That's not too bad. We might get 2 layers, that's it. So we've got the cookies in the bottom. It's whipping up. And then we use our spatula to smooth it out and keep building our layers. So if you had 3 packages, you definitely could have gotten at least 3-4 layers out of this, but that's fine. And then we're going to cover this with plastic wrap, and we're going to put it in the fridge overnight. And then in the morning, once we take it out of the sleeve, we're going to use a peeler, vegetable peeler. And we'll put some chocolate pearls on top. Use any kind of chocolate you like. Got 38 seconds here. And I may push this down now. Pause it. Let's pause it and push it down off the sides a little bit. It's already become nice stiff peaks. Ooh, it looks yummy. And this would be a great whipped cream topping even for anything that you're making. Doesn't have to be an icebox cake. Okay, let's get this bad boy back on, and you know I gotta taste that. There we go. That's yummy. So the cookies will make a nice crust for the layers. Alright. If that wasn't the easiest recipe ever, I don't know what is. Let's get this out here. Let's see how we're going to get this off of our whisk. There we go. It looks really nice and fluffy. And once it sets overnight, it'll thicken and really form like a more solid cake. And the cookies will get nice and soft, just like when you make like banana pudding or like a trifle, and the cubed pieces kind of get softened, so they'll be like a cake mixture. Okay? Let's see here if I could shake this out. Here we go. Who's licking the beater? Alright, so we're going to take this out, get everything out of the way here, and let's start layering. Okay? Hopefully you can see me. This way, this way. Alright, so we have our first layer of cookies on the bottom, and what I'm going to do is just scoop out a little bit of the mixture, and then we'll use our spatula and kind of flatten it out. You don't want to use too much of the mixture because then you won't be able to build your layers. So you're going to kind of have to eyeball it. And I might not have eyeballed it right, but we'll see. So the cookies will move, but once you get that first layer in, it'll be much, much easier to move around. You just want to make sure you get to the edge. So if you want to be crazy, you could get like chocolate chips or chocolate chunks and actually put them in the mix too. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Let's see here. And this is great because the spring form will come apart, so you'll have the base still to hold up your cake. There we go. Almost done with our first layer, and then we'll put another layer of cookies. Super, super easy. And there's a lot of icebox recipes out there. I've been using a lot of recipes lately by Ina Garten. I think that's how you say her last name. She is the Barefoot Contessa, used to be on Food Network. She's got some really great recipes. Okay, let's get that all done. Okay, so this is our first layer. Easy. We're going to take our next set of cookies. And again, if you can't fit all the cookies in, just break it up. I'm kind of glad I only got the 2 packages because I don't think the topping goes as far as it should, but we'll see. Maybe I'm putting too much in each layer, but I want to make sure I use it up. Take my little half cookie. There we go. And our next round here. And you want to obviously end off with filling, so maybe we have to make this one very small. And that's pretty much it. So that, if this tastes good, this will be one of my recipes for Christmas. And then I also, it's not even a recipe, but we went to a barbecue and somebody had made it looked like an icebox cake, and it was made with ice cream sandwiches, and then they layered it with like whatever you want, any kind of filling. So this one had caramel sauce, hot fudge sauce, nuts, whipped cream, and it was actually delicious, and it took no time, no baking required. So always trying to find something easier to make during the holidays. Let's see here. Hopefully we could make this work, because I want to be able to do one more layer. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. So does everybody have their menus for Thanksgiving? You could do this for Thanksgiving too. That would be good. We are going out this year because I'm doing Christmas here, so. All right, last layer. Whatever cookies we have, we're going to use up. Did I use both packages? Yeah. I don't think I've ever made such an easy recipe. There we go. So, honestly, based on how much topping is left, I really think that the 2 packages was plenty. I'm going to use all these cookies. Robert, you want a cookie? No, there's only one left. Alright, so we're done. Let's get our last batch out here, and we're going to put a cling wrap on top here and put it in our refrigerator. So we have about three layers from what I'm seeing, unless I made the layers too big, but so the 2 packages of cookies is more than enough. So she must have been putting a lot more cookies down. Go. Almost done. I just want to get every last ounce out of here so we don't waste it. And that will be it. All right. Super, super easy. Put in the comments below what you're making for the holidays. I know, Shara, you're working on pie stuff, and I'm trying to find kind of like trifle easy things because I want to do a lot more food stuff this year. And we're all covered. Yeah, so I'm thinking 2 layers would be plenty based on how much cream is here, how much is left. You just want to get right to the edge. And that looks really nice. And you could smooth it out if you want. You can make it a little rustic with like a little design in it. You know, there's no special way to do it. But just hope it comes out of the pan. So I'm not going to use, when I take this out of the pan, I am not going to use my metal spatula because I don't want to scratch the pan. But the back of our cake tester has this awesome plastic lip. So I'll be able to run it around the side so that I can get it out of the pan. There we go. And it will firm up. We hope. Okay, I am done. Yes, I'm being a perfectionist. I know. So I'm going to make sure I get around the edges without messing up my pan. And that looks beautiful. So I'm not going to put the chocolate on now because I don't want the chocolate sitting in there until I'm ready to use it and to eat it. Decorate. There we go. All right, we are done. Check it out. Isn't that pretty? So again, we're gonna take it out. Use like a vegetable peeler or any kind of peeler that you have. Where's my vegetable peeler? And we'll make some chocolate curls with this, just around the side of the chocolate bar, and just let it drop on top. You could put whipped cream on this. Use like a little decorator, make little florets or whatever around it. You do whatever you want. Even if you want it for a holiday, find like a Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, those little chocolate emblems and put it on. Do whatever you like. But this is going to be covered in the fridge, and I will show you a picture tomorrow what it looks like, and then we're going to taste it tomorrow. So hopefully we can wait that long. But you guys have a good day. I am on dog food making duty, so I already put that in. It's in the crock pot. Gotta wait 8 hours or so and then put it in the containers and in the freezer for the dogs. So that's what I'll be doing today. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye. All right, everybody, we can't wait. We're hungry. We want a dessert. So I'm gonna break out this icebox cake. It's been in there about 8 hours in the outside fridge, so there's nothing else in there, so it's super cold. So what I did, I took our chocolate bar, and I have some little chocolate curls here, and all I did was take a peeler and run it down the side and made a bunch of chocolate curls. Make as many as you like, just doing a handful. We may do more. So the next step, and I put it on wax paper because you don't want to touch it because you'll melt it with your hands. So the next step, we're going to run something around the edge to release it from the side. Hopefully this is long enough. And then we'll release the springform pan and we'll put it on our cake dish here. It really should sit overnight, but we're hungry. So let's see. Let's make it look pretty. And now we're going to release it. Hi, everybody. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Then we're going to take our chocolate. And we're going to just, I should really use the paper, but I'm going to try to use my fingers, I know. But and you're just sprinkling it over the top. So when I was reading the directions, it should really be about 5 layers. And I think maybe my springform pan might have been too big. I don't remember what size this one is, but it says an 8-inch pan. So most likely you would get a lot more layers in there. Okay, oh, it looks so good. See, now this is why you use the paper, because my fingers are melting the chocolate. So let's try doing it this way. Then we're going to slice it. And you could put some whipped cream if you have, but I don't have time to make it because Mr. King is hungry. So